Hey everybody, welcome back to another review. Today we're taking a look at the Kizer Shoal, and before I really get into the knife, I will show the packaging. So it came in the normal Kizer kind of cream colored box. Inside that was a smaller box that had a Kizer branded pouch, and under that was a microfiber cleaning cloth, which I did just use to clean this knife, and it worked pretty well. So those are nice little freebies you get with it. And here's the knife itself. Now first, I'm going to go over kind of the specs and measurements of the knife. So it is 8 inches overall. The blade length is 3.5 inches. The blade thickness, on Blade HQ it said it was 0.15, but I think that might have been a typo because it's more like a little over 0.16. So at least that's what I measured it to. Handle length of 4.5 inches and a handle thickness of 0.48 inches. Total weight was 5.14 ounces. So kind of sounds a little heavy, but it doesn't feel that way in the hand, so I assume that's the right measurement, but I did not measure it myself. And there was the action. So, kind of some of the specs about it. Blade material is S35VN. Let me hold it this way. There, you can see that S35VN. That is the model number and the logo right there. And while I'm at it, I'll show that side. Kim Ning is the designer. So it is a drop point, is how it was described. I forgot. Handle material is Thai. You probably already knew that, but blade shape, drop point. It's got a recurve in the grind down there, and it's a hollow grind right there with I don't know if I can't really tell if it's a convex tip or if it's a flat ground tip, but it's a compound blade grind, so you can see the hollow right there, and then it transitions to a different grind right there on the tip. So very cool looking grind. Satin finish on the blade with a plain edge. The pocket clip on Blade HQ, if you look at pictures of the pocket clip, it is a blue anodized spring bent titanium clip, and when it showed up here, it was a 3D milled gray titanium, kind of a bead blast finish, which I like a lot better. But I don't know if this came on all of them or if just they kind of updated as they went, and this is kind of a later version of the same knife, but it does not have a spring stamped clip, and it is right hand, left hand, tip up only. It is a frame lock, and it is a Kizer, so country of origin is China. Now on to kind of the design and features of the knife. As you could tell, it has a rock pattern milled into the titanium handle. There's also, I think, 3 other versions you can get. There's one that kind of has a wavy pattern. There's one that has a no pattern, completely plain. And then I think there's another one, I don't remember what it is. The completely plain one is like an upgraded version with an M390 blade. So that's probably the most expensive, kind of best version. It also has blue hardware with the old style swirl pivot. There you can see the screws in the back. And they're anodized blue. They kind of get purplish once they get down in there. You can kind of see it. It's also got jimping on the flipper back here, and when you open it, It has jimping on the handle scales and on the blade. It's got a lanyard hole back here. It is standoff construction. I don't know if those are titanium or if they're stainless, and they might just not be anodized titanium. Not really sure. It has a lock insert and it's on bearings, so it's very smooth. You can't see the lock bar insert unless you're looking at it from this side, which you can barely see it up in there. Also has a finger relief for the lock bar, so you can see it kind of chamfered right there on the lock side. And also, that sticks out a little bit, kind of follows the lines right there with that chamfer, but very easy for your thumb. I have kind of fat thumbs, so getting them down in there is very easy. Now on to kind of the pros of the knife. So what I really like about it is the action. It was very smooth, very nice on those bearings. Also, I really like the design. Very cool looking. The rock pattern seems to give a little extra grip, at least more than just a completely smooth titanium handle would have. So, very good looking, and it serves a purpose. We also got the easy disengagement from the lockup. I really like that. The materials, really nice. Titanium hardware, titanium handle, S35VN blade definitely gets the job done. So, very good, especially for the price, which I'll go into later. The clip functions really well. Every spring, sorry about that. Every spring or bent steel or titanium clip I've had has always functioned great, but not every milled clip has. But this one is definitely nice. So I assume if you get one that has the bent clip, it'll also be great. But this one functions great, and I do like the look of it. I think it goes along well with the knife. So onto the cons. I couldn't really think of too many, but I guess it's kind of heavy. I didn't really notice it after carrying it for over a week, but if you look inside, you can tell it is not milled out for lightning or anything. So those are solid titanium scales. So definitely a little heavy, but it's not really noticeable in the pocket or anything. Also, the flipper jimping, well, I guess the jimping under the flipper. So a big thing that I've always hated is jimping down under the flipper after you flip it. But as you can see, this jimping's not super aggressive. So if you flip, it's not like it's digging into your hands like some other ones. The CRKT Shenanigan was one that I really hated. It had, or at least I hated that jimping part of it. So it had really squared off jimping under the flipper. So every time you flipped it, your finger would hit the jimping. Same with the Browse Bionic, at least the original version 1 or Gen 1 Browse Bionic. But this one, definitely not bad. I could flip it all day, which I do flip it all day. And it's not like it's worn out my finger or hurt it or anything. It's just not as smooth as kind of newer knives, I guess. Also for a con is it's not really about the knife, I guess. It's kind of about their packaging, I think, or maybe their assembly of the knife. But down in there, you can see, well, you can't see it, but when the knife came, it had a lot of oil. I'm kind of losing my voice, but it had a lot of oil all over the blade, and I've been wiping it off the engagement surface right there. But every time I wipe it, after a little while, the oil comes back out. There, I think I got it. So the oil comes back out, and it kind of makes it a sticky lock face, but it's not actually the knife's fault that it's sticky, because it has that stainless steel insert, which means there's not really going to be any stick between the steel blade and the steel insert, but because of that oil in there, it kind of gunks it up and makes it a little sticky. But once that kind of wears out and it's been happening a lot less lately. And even right now, if I flip it, I assume, yeah, it's not really sticky or anything. It's just every once in a while it kind of gets gunked up. So just make sure you clean it. Maybe if you buy it new, you can just take it apart instantly if you want to, because there's some people that like to take it apart instantly and put their own oil and everything in there. So that's all the cons. Nothing really major. Definitely the pros outweigh the cons by a ton. But on to kind of my final judgment for the knife. It's amazing for the price. I think right now this one is in the 140s on Blade HQ. There's another version that is blue anodized. It kind of has the weird bacteria looking anodization where it's blue with like kind of pinkish orange dots all over it. It kind of looks like a petri dish, but that one's like 120 something, I think. So very good price for that one, especially for the 120 something price. But 149 for this one is a crazy price. It also comes in different styles, so you can kind of get one that more suits you or that you like better. You're not just stuck with a rock pattern or just a plain titanium handle. Also, it's very nice to carry. I've been carrying it for probably a week and a half now, and it's just a great carry. I've cut open a lot of stuff with it. Nothing major enough to damage the blade or anything to show any use, but I've cut a lot of stuff with it. It's held up great. It's a great little slicer, and I definitely recommend it. Even if you find it for someplace more than 150 and you can't find it for cheaper anywhere else, I'd recommend it for 200. It flips great. It is very smooth closing, and definitely a very nice knife. I also recommend, so this is a Kizer, like I said earlier. If you go, I did it earlier today. If you go on Blade HQ and you go to the for sale section, maybe even like GP Knives, they might be doing this also. But if you go to the sale section where they have all their knives on clearance, if you look at just titanium frame lock knives, you can sort handle material and you can sort it by titanium. So I did that earlier, and it came up with tons of Kizers that are titanium frame locks on sale. And they're all about $100 up to like $150 for great knives. They just didn't sell all of them, so they're trying to get rid of them. And about $100 for a titanium Kizer is a great price, so definitely recommend that. Right now it's February 2020, so if you're watching this in 2021, then those might be gone by now, but still kind of a good recommendation. Maybe there'll still be some new ones on there at that time, but that's pretty much all I have to say about this knife. I really like it. I've carried it every day for the past week and a half since I got it, and I love it. I've flipped it a lot. I can't stop flipping it. I've been yelled at to stop flipping it because it gets annoying after a while, but definitely very nice. Great quality, especially for the price. That's pretty much it. So check out the other videos on my channel if you want to look at other reviews. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.